All right, so we're going to talk about Unit 3 today. We're getting started on that. But the first thing I want to do is I want to go back and just do a quick little thing about Unit 2. In Unit 2, right, we had started to talk about, solving equations, and we used models in a variety of different ways. But for the most part, we're using whole, right, and then parts. And we could always do stuff like this. Now, the important thing about knowing how to use a part-whole model is that it's a key element to Unit 3. And I'll show you why in 1 second. So in Unit 3, right, we're going to take on fractions, percent, and proportions. So it's going to be really important that you understand, again, that part-whole model, because we can do a number of things using that in order to solve, equations like this. Let's see. You will be able to solve things like this by the time you are done and draw a model for it. So that's pretty exciting. It's actually Unit 3 there, a little correction. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what we did in class today, Lesson 3.1, and regarding fractional parts. And this was a problem that we went over before, right here, from whole to part. And without even, really looking at this a whole lot, you see a whole and some parts here, and you can probably, tell us what goes in each of those boxes there. It's 15. We have 5 boxes. 3 is going to go in each one of them. Okay, so we're still using that idea for this new unit and for the things that we're going to be doing. But we're going to look at it in a little different way, right? So it's a 2/5 of the students, if we went back to the problem here, 2/5 of the students in this class have jobs on weekends. If there are 15 in the class, how many have jobs on the weekends? Right, so if 15 students is a whole, and that's the total, and we're looking for 2/5 of the students, we can just mark off 2 of the boxes as 2/5. And since we know that there are 5 boxes here that make up 15, each one is 3, so we can say that 2/5 then of 15 is 6 students. So read the questions here, what number goes in each box. It's a 3. How many students have weekend jobs according to this problem? And that would be 6 students. Okay? So, and then if you did it the other way around and you're provided information that you can just apply to the box, you can find the total. So this next problem then talks about Mr. Cicero and I playing golf. We're on the course for 2 hours, but we're only 1/3 of the way through the course, right? So we take that bottom number, that's our number of boxes, the denominator, and so why do we start with 3 boxes in our model? Well, 1/3 is what we're looking at. Sorry, that's a little messy. So 3 is the reason we have these 3 boxes in here, our denominator. And how many boxes should be marked off to show 1/3? Well, that's just 1 box, right? And what do we put for the total in this situation? Well, we don't know the total. We were asked how many more hours would it be if we were to continue at that pace. So if you look at this model here, right below, total time for the round we don't know. We know that we've been out there for 2 hours so far, and that's 1/3 of the time. Okay? So in answering this question, if it takes 2 hours for Mr. Osborne and Mr. Cicero to play 1/3 of a round of golf, how much would it take them to play the full round? So we can just put a 2 in each of these boxes. We end up getting a whole there of 6. So 6 hours. And here's the guided practice. Okay, so we have a model, and it's just simply asking us to find half of 40. So I know from my part wholes that if I have a whole of 40 and I have two parts, they're the same. I do 40 divided by 2, right? And that equals 20. So 20 fits in the box. And you can check it by saying 20 plus 20 is 40, or 20 times 2 is 40. Okay, let's look down at number 2. 3/4 of a number is 15. What is the number? So let's see here. We have 15 is taking up 3 boxes. We don't know the whole, but we do know that 3 boxes make 15, so each box then is 5. And then, so the number must be 20. And we could even put the question mark there. 20 equals a question mark. Okay, the next one, number 3. Find 1/4 of 20 using a model. 1/4 of 20. So 20 being the whole. And then we have 4 boxes. Now why do we have 4 boxes? Right? Well, it's because we have our denominator here of 4. And we're trying to figure out one of them. Okay? So keep that in mind. Important information. And so if we have 4 boxes and the whole is 20 and each box is the same, we know that 5 is the value for each box. So if I were to, I should have left a little more space there. 1/4 of 20 is 5. Okay, next one. 2/3 of the people in this class went to Kennett Middle School. If 10 of the students went to Kennett Middle School, how many students are in the class? Okay, so 2/3 of the people in this class. We're being asked how many students are in the class. So we don't know the whole here. And we're dealing with thirds, right? 2/3. So if I'm making thirds, I'm going to break this into 3. And I know that 2/3 of them, right, is 10. So you can see that once, the difficulty is in setting the model up correctly. After that, using what you learned in the last unit, you can say that 10 makes 2 boxes. So what's each box? In that case, it's 5. So all the boxes are 5. And that means then that x equals 15. So there are 15 students in that class. All right, so that's the end of Unit 3's first lesson. All right. I'll put up a quick one on assignment 3-1 also if you want to watch that. Bye now.